In this small bite, I want to show you how to share your Google Notebook LM with your colleagues and students. So first, you'll notice that I'm in my online course accessibility Notebook LM, and I want to show you how to share it with colleagues first. So to share with a colleague, you'll go to the upper right-hand corner and click the share button. And then in order to share a Notebook LM that's been created using the VCCS's instance of Notebook LM, I can't just send them a link. I actually have to send them an email invite inviting them to my notebook. And because it's already connected to our VCCS email, all I have to do is type in the person's name. So if I want to share this with Corey Lewis, I can type in Corey Lewis, and you'll see that Corey comes up, and it actually shows Corey's VCCS email or Gmail account. I can select that, and it'll add him to my list, and then I can send that invite to Corey. And it'll send him an invite to access my notebook, and he can access the notebook and all of its contents. So sharing with colleagues is just that easy. You simply type in their name, it brings up their VCCS email, and you invite them to join your Google LM notebook. Sharing with students is actually just as easy. I can share my Google Notebook LM in Canvas. So let me show you how to do that. So I'm going to close this window out, and I'm actually going to go to Canvas. I'm already in a Canvas course. I've created a module that currently has no contents in it, but you can add this to any module that you already have. And all I have to do is go to the Add Item button, or the little plus sign in the upper right-hand corner of the module. And then I can select from the drop-down the type of item that I'm going to add to my module, and I'm going to select External Tool. Then from this list of external tools, I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to select Google Gemini. It's going to open up a window, and that window is going to show me that I can add a Notebook LM. I click the Select Notebook button. I see a list of all of the Notebook LMs that I have created. Just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to stick with this online course accessibility notebook. So I'm going to click on that. And then I click the Add to Course button. And then I click Add. And then one more time, I click Add Item from this window. And now you can see that I've added a link that will share my Notebook LM with my students. I also want to make sure that's published so students can access it. So now I can click this link in the module. It'll come up and ask me for permission to load it into a new browser window. So I go ahead and click that button. It opens up a new browser window, and it takes me directly into that Notebook LM. So I'm in Notebook LM right now. And one thing I want to point out is if you do run into an issue where it tells you that you do not have access to the Notebook LM, or that your account does not have access, you need to go back and make sure that you are logged into your VCCS Gmail and not a personal Gmail. Because if you're logged into a personal Gmail and you try to click the link in Canvas, it'll tell you don't have permission to access the notebook. So you do want to make sure that you are logged into your VCCS Gmail account in order to get access to the notebook. But that's the only hitch that I have run into, and it's just a couple button clicks to get myself logged in, and I'm in the notebook. Now, I own this notebook, so you'll notice that the Add Resource button is here. These studio buttons are here. Students do not have access to that. So when students are in the notebook, they can't add any resources to the notebook. They also can't produce any of these studio items. So they can't produce like a study guide or an audio overview. If I want students to have an audio overview of my notebook, I need to produce that as the instructor. Same thing with a study guide or the briefing doc or the mind map. I have to produce that as the instructor and put it in the notebook for students to access. Students cannot generate those themselves. So just another level of control that you have as the instructor as to what students can do with your Notebook LM that you're sharing. Now, students do have access to this chat window here at the bottom, so they can immediately start asking questions of Notebook LM, and it'll start generating answers based on the resources you have shared as the instructor. So it does create a really nice curated AI environment for students where you control the sources and they can ask questions and get the correct answers. That's all there is to sharing it. It really is that easy to share it with your colleagues and to share it with students inside of Canvas. If you've got any questions about this small bite, please reach out and let me know.